What you're about to witness is the most important piece of content that I've ever made. And, it might sound overblown, but it is actually the opposite. You know, Yesterday, as I was going through my notes, it was in the evening. I was tired. I was a bit messy yesterday. I noticed that my personal problem of dishonesty was something that I could literally see in every single person who I've met who is on self improvement. And that is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So, check it out. I have been studying the psyche of young, ambitious, determined men, and I got this insight that disturbed me quite a lot. You see, for years, I've seen people who always fall into the same pattern. And I talk as someone who did this thing. I used to have all of these big goals about being a millionaire, having a dropshipping business, an agency business, having this girl, this other girl, and I wrote everything down in a journal for pages on end, my dream life, my dream reality. I got very excited. And for some reason, it always ended up in the following thing. I would journal things, I would get very excited, start acting out of pure motivation or even sometimes discipline. But then I'd notice that things weren't really going to go where I thought they were going to go. I would feel this horrible sense of despair, this sense of, when you're in love and then you notice that the other person was not the person that you expected to be. That feeling, but with myself and with my goals. And then that would come a point where I would be looking at myself in the mirror. I would notice that I wasn't who I liked. I would watch videos of these young people, making a lot of money online, having perfect physiques. And I would be like, fuck, I need to be one. I need to be one of them. And then I would repeat the same fucking pattern, but with a different dressing. And the crazy part about it is that people always blame it on different things. They say, oh, it's because you didn't build things on discipline. It's because you had such a big ego. It's because you didn't think in systems. But it never seems to me that people genuinely understand that the one thing that is holding you back, that the one thing that was holding me back was simply transparency. Brutal, horrible, disgustingly uncomfortable transparency with yourself. When I was in a call, when I used to, well, he's still one of my best friends, if not my best friend. I used to talk to this guy every evening, maybe once a week, something like that, about how my self improvement journey was going, about how we were going to achieve great things together and shit. And I will always describe myself as this almost God, this perfect God that didn't have everything that but was going to achieve his dream life anyways. And my inner dialogue went always the same way. Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be watching corn. You shouldn't be eating this. Well, I ate it and shit, and then I would be like, oh, I'm this disciplined guy. I shouldn't be doing this, but I would still be doing the same shit. I would still be falling right back into my old ways because I never got out of my old ways because I was not being transparent with myself. If I told myself, actually, you know what? You're not disciplined right now. You're not the type of person who achieves your goals right now. It would be 10 times better. I would have made 10 times more progress. And you see, when I put it like this, it sounds very obvious. It sounds so easy. Oh, I just gotta be honest with myself. But when you look at it from the outside, you notice that, oh, you know what? When I describe myself to other people, I tend to make it as if I actually was the type of guys that I see online, this perfect gurus that I watch every day on Instagram, on YouTube. And you're not. And it is that disparity, that contrast between you and those people that is fucking you up. You know why? Because you are trying to make this transition right, but you're so focused on this, on being here, on being up, that you forget where you're actually at. You shouldn't be worrying about whether you're going to make $1 million or not. You shouldn't even be worrying about making 10K a month. You should be worrying, and I say this to myself, about being the type of person who doesn't fuck up their routine. And eventually, I can worry about being the type of person who makes money online. But, dude, the problem is that, you're so focused here that you forget about, your current state, your current reality, and lie to yourself and get in this like magic bubble that tells you in a weird, fucked up way that you're here. And that is not good. That is terrible, and you should escape out of that pattern. Now, you might be asking, Nicolas, what do I do? What the hell should I do? Well, I know that it sounds crazy, but I wrote down every single thing about myself. Every single little good thing, huge bad thing, every single detail. Up to a point where I got so self-conscious that I learned what my actual flaws were. My flaws were not inconsistency. My flaws were dishonesty. Were not unfocused person, but not transparent person. And since there, bro, I'm not telling you that this is the last answer, but everything has opened up. I've talked to new people, I've gotten up to new opportunities, and my life has gotten like 10 times better.